Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. It's week 13 in the NFL, and we are doing a regular call with Doug Upstone, professional handicapper, SBR contributor, getting his analysis on false favorites and top underdogs in the NFL each week. Doug Upstone, what's your first false favorite or top underdog for NFL week 13 for us?
Well, my first one is going to be a false favorite on Tennessee as I look to improve on what's been a great year at 24-11-1 for this particular video. Tennessee was in a great position to knock off Oakland last week, but failed to do so at home, blowing a 21-17 lead late in the game, and once again giving it up, leaving them 4-14 at LP Field the last 3 years. Now they're going to be playing another team that's basically in their class with Jacksonville. Now Tennessee should have defeated them back on November 19th, but again, a late fourth quarter touchdown did them in. And I just don't think this team should be a 2.5-point favorite really against anybody. I know Jacksonville certainly isn't great, but in Tennessee's case, they're 0-8 at home against the spread off a loss by 6 or less points. And when we're playing Jacksonville, they're 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10. I think that the Titans do not have the strength of Hercules and fall in this spot.
Yeah, I can certainly see your point. I kind of like Mariota, and I kind of feel like the Titans are going to fight for that new head coach maybe this week. I'm not sure what I think about the side. I definitely made a big bet on the over 43 in that one. I'm liking the over. The side confounds me, but I can certainly see your point for not believing in Tennessee as a favorite. Interesting analysis, Doug Upstone. What's your second false favorite or top underdog for Week 13?
Well, this one ends up being a little murky in terms of a dog or a favorite in this case, because when I wrote the article for this for Sportsbook Review, Seattle was actually an underdog. Now, since they've the game's pretty much been a pick, but no matter what, I still like Seattle in this particular game. Now, what I like about them is the matchup, is that they're playing Minnesota, who prefers to run the ball. Now, Seattle's problems this year have come against teams that like to push the ball down the field by throwing it. That is not the strength of Minnesota, and Seattle ends up being fifth against the rush. So I think that's going to give them an inherent advantage right there. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from Minnesota. You know, they got a very good record. They're 9-2 against the spread. But Seattle now, Peter's starting to pick up some momentum. 2 wins, 2 covers, and this team is an excellent closing team with an 11-2 against the spread record in December since 2012. With the odds this low, the odds makers are telling us that Seattle is the better team, and I'm going to back it.
All right, that's an interesting analysis. I'm still feeling my way out on this one. A lot of interesting games this week. I have heard some sharp opinions, like in Minnesota once again this week, saying that they feel like Carolina is accurately valued by the market now, but that Minnesota is still undervalued. It's a tough one. It's a tricky one. Obviously, Minnesota's been catching week in and week out. At some point, that's going to reverse course. You might be right that this week Seattle is the way to go. What's your third false favorite or top underdog for us, Doug?
Well, for sure, this one is a false favorite, and it's going to be the New York Jets. Now, the Giants last week made more mistakes than NFL official Pete Morelli and his crew. And for the first 50 minutes, they basically were sleepwalking against Washington, and they got caught and got beat. Now, coupled with the Jets winning rather easily against Miami, the betting public decided that the Gang Green was their choice, and they moved them from a pick to -2.5. Now, before pushing the throttle to maximum on the Jets here, consider the fact that Ryan Fitzpatrick, who I acknowledge that I cannot stand as an NFL quarterback, threw 5 touchdown passes last week. Now, what are the chances of him having really good back-to-back games? And do you really want to support him against Eli Manning? I don't think so. I look at this game and I see the Flyboys. If they are off 2 exact overs, they're 0-6 in their next game. And the last 5 times they have played the Giants, Peter, they have lost every single time. Jets as a false favorite.
I hope you're right on this one, Doug Upstone. This is one of my personal opinions. That's one of my favorite plays of the week on the Giants. I'm in complete agreement with you, Doug. I hope we're both right. Interesting thoughts as always, Doug Upstone. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next week.